Today, we remember the world of silver screens and timeless performances, where the most gifted film actresses brought stories, emotions, and unforgettable characters to life. Through grace, talent, and dedication, they captured hearts, inspired generations, and left marks that will never fade. This video honors their brilliance, their courage, and the unforgettable legacy they left on the movies we cherish. Betsy Palmer, the beloved American film and television actress who passed away on May 29, 2015, at the age of 88, of natural causes at a hospice care center in Danbury, Connecticut, is remembered not only for her long and versatile career, but most famously for her chilling role as Pamela Voorhees, the vengeful mother of Jason Voorhees, in the 1980 horror classic Friday the 13th. Born Patricia Betsy Hrunick on November 1, 1926, in East Chicago, Indiana, to Marie and Rudolph Hrunick, Betsy grew up in a nurturing household that encouraged her love for performance, participating in school plays throughout her childhood and graduating from Roosevelt High School in 1944. She attended DePaul University in Chicago and later studied at New York's Actors Studio, determined to pursue a life in acting. Even while initially working as a secretary and stenographer, Betsy began her career in summer stock theater and on Broadway, performing in productions like Cactus Flower, Same Time, Next Year, and The Eccentricities of a Nightingale, and she appeared alongside stars like Henry Fonda, Jack Lemmon, Tyrone Power, and Anthony Perkins in films such as Mr. Roberts, The Long Gray Line, Queen Bee, and The Tin Star. Her television work was equally extensive, with appearances on Playhouse 90, Studio One, As the World Turns, Knots Landing, The Love Boat, and a decade-long run as a panelist on the game show I've Got a Secret, establishing her as a familiar and beloved face in American households. Despite her decades of experience and acclaim, Betsy initially hesitated to accept the role of Mrs. Voorhees, seeing it only as a short-term job to afford a new car after her Mercedes broke down. Yet this performance unexpectedly became iconic, introducing her to a new generation of fans and cementing her legacy in horror cinema. Juanita Moore, the beloved American film, television, and stage actress who passed away on January 1, 2014, at the age of 99 due to natural causes in her Los Angeles home, was a groundbreaking talent whose determination opened doors for African American performers in Hollywood at a time when roles were scarce and often stereotypical. She is most remembered for her unforgettable portrayal of Annie Johnson in Imitation of Life in 1959, a devoted housekeeper whose light-skinned daughter struggles with her racial identity, a performance that earned Moore an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress, making her only the fifth African-American actor to be Oscar-nominated and also securing a Golden Globe nomination. Born in Greenwood, Mississippi in 1914, Moore moved with her family to Los Angeles during the Great Migration, where she began performing as a dancer in the chorus line at the Cotton Club before transitioning to theater and eventually film. She made her screen debut in Pinky in 1949 and went on to appear in over 50 films, including The Girl Can't Help It in 1956, The Singing Nun in 1966, Uptight in 1968, Thomasine and Bushrod and Abby in 1974, and later Disney's The Kid in 2000, while also making notable guest appearances on television shows like Dragnet, Adam 12, Marcus Welby, MD, ER, and Judging Amy. Beyond her screen work, Moore was deeply involved in theater, serving as vice president of the Cambridge Players and helping productions like James Baldwin's The Amen Corner reach Broadway in 1965, mentoring young actors and inspiring countless performers. Married for 50 years to Charles Burris until his passing in 2001, Moore's family, including her grandson Kirk Kellycon, continues her legacy in the performing arts. Even in her later years, she remained active in rehearsals and stage readings, showing her unwavering passion for acting. Patty Duke, the beloved American actress who first captured the world's heart as the indomitable Helen Keller, passed away on March 29, 2016, at the age of 69 after a sudden bout of sepsis caused by a ruptured intestine. A tragic end that shocked fans worldwide and reminded the world of her fragility despite a life filled with extraordinary achievements. Born Anna Marie Duke on December 14, 1946, in Elmhurst, New York, she grew up facing immense challenges, including an alcoholic father, a mentally ill mother, and guardians who exploited her talent from a young age, pushing her into professional acting before she was ready. Yet, these hardships shaped her into a resilient and gifted performer, and at just 15, she triumphed on Broadway in The Miracle Worker, portraying Helen Keller with astonishing depth, a role she soon recreated on the big screen, and for which she won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress at the remarkably young age of 16, making her the youngest recipient at the time. Her talent did not stop at film. She became a household name in the mid-1960s when she starred as both Patty and her identical cousin Kathy Lane in The Patty Duke Show, a television series that showcased her rare ability to play two distinct characters with charisma, charm, and humor, winning the hearts of audiences everywhere. As she matured, Patty embraced more complex roles, such as the troubled, drug-addicted singer Neely O'Hara in Valley of the Dolls in 1967, a daring performance that revealed the darker shades of her craft, and the deeply moving role of Natalie Miller in Me, Natalie a couple of years later, which earned her a Golden Globe for Best Actress and cemented her reputation as a versatile and fearless performer. Behind the glamour, Patty struggled with personal demons, and in 1982, she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, a revelation she faced with remarkable courage, later becoming a passionate advocate for mental health awareness, openly sharing her journey through her memoirs, Call Me Anna, and A Brilliant Madness, inspiring countless fans with her honesty and resilience. Her life off-screen was equally full, as she married 4 times and raised 3 children, including actors Sean Astin and Mackenzie Astin, while also adopting another son, Kevin, balancing family, career, and advocacy with grace and determination. Debbie Reynolds, the beloved American actress and singer whose light and talent graced the silver screen for decades, passed away on December 28, 2016, at the age of 84, just a day after the heartbreaking death of her daughter, Carrie Fisher. Reynolds suffered a catastrophic stroke at her son Todd's home in Beverly Hills, a devastating blow that came only hours after she had spoken of wanting to be with her daughter, and she was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where she passed surrounded by family, leaving the world mourning the loss of 2 legendary Hollywood icons almost simultaneously. Born Mary Frances Reynolds on April 1, 1932, in El Paso, Texas, Debbie grew up in modest circumstances, raised by her hardworking parents in a strict, faith-centered home. Her journey from humble beginnings to Hollywood stardom began at 16, when she was discovered at a Burbank beauty contest and offered a studio contract, quickly adopting the name Debbie Reynolds. She first charmed audiences as Helen Kane in 3 Little Words, and her breakthrough arrived with her effervescent performance as Kathy Selden in Singin' in the Rain, dancing and singing alongside Gene Kelly and Donald O'Connor in numbers that remain immortalized in cinematic history. Over the 1950s and 60s, she dazzled in musicals like The Affairs of Dobby Gillis, Susan Slept Here, Bundle of Joy, The Catered Affair, and Tammy and the Bachelor, the latter earning her a chart-topping hit with the song Tammy. She shone in How the West Was Won, and her portrayal of the resilient, boisterous Titanic survivor in The Unsinkable Molly Brown earned her an Academy Award nomination, demonstrating the depth and charm that endeared her to audiences worldwide. Beyond film, she embraced television and stage, earning a Golden Globe nomination for The Debbie Reynolds Show, voicing Charlotte in Charlotte's Web, and captivating new generations as Aggie Cromwell in Disney's Halloween Town. She also built a remarkable legacy off-screen, opening a dance studio in North Hollywood, running a Las Vegas hotel and casino, and curating an extraordinary collection of Hollywood memorabilia, reflecting her lifelong devotion to preserving film history. Debbie's personal life was full of highs and lows. Her marriage to singer Eddie Fisher ended amid scandal, Her union with shoe magnate Harry Carl faced financial strains, yet through it all she remained devoted to her children, Carrie and Todd, and later her granddaughter, Billie Lourd. Her death, so closely following Carrie's, was felt as a final, poignant testament to their inseparable bond, leaving the world in profound sorrow. Carrie Fisher, the beloved American actress and writer whose wit, courage, and talent made her a cinematic icon, passed away on December 27, 2016, at the age of 60, after suffering a sudden cardiac arrest on a flight from London to Los Angeles, leaving the world mourning the loss of a luminous star whose life was as compelling off-screen as it was on. Born in Beverly Hills to screen legend Debbie Reynolds and singer Eddie Fisher, Carrie grew up surrounded by Hollywood glamour, but also endured a childhood marked by family turbulence, including her parents' highly publicized divorce. From a young age, she was drawn to the arts, appearing on Broadway as a teenager in her mother's revival of Irene, before making her film debut in the satirical comedy Shampoo. Her life changed forever when she was cast as the fearless, witty, and unforgettable Princess Leia in George Lucas's Star Wars, a role that made her a household name and would define her legacy. She returned to the galaxy as Leia in The Empire Strikes Back, reprised the role in Return of the Jedi, and decades later brought the character to life once more in The Force Awakens, with posthumous appearances in The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, leaving fans in awe of her enduring presence. Beyond the Star Wars universe, Carrie's talent shone in films such as The Blues Brothers, Woody Allen's Hannah and Her Sisters, the romantic comedy When Harry Met Sally, the sharp satire Soap Dish, and The Women, revealing her ability to captivate audiences with both humor and depth. A gifted writer, she poured her personal struggles into acclaimed works including Postcards from the Edge, which she adapted into a film starring Meryl Streep, as well as Surrender the Pink, Delusions of Grandma, The Princess Diarist, and her one-woman show Wishful Drinking, later turned into a best-selling memoir and Emmy-nominated special. Behind the scenes, she was a respected Hollywood script doctor, refining scripts for films like Hook, Sister Act, The Wedding Singer, and contributing to the Star Wars franchise, quietly shaping cinema with her keen insight. Throughout her life, Carrie faced challenges with remarkable honesty, openly discussing her battles with bipolar disorder and substance addiction to raise awareness and break stigma. Tragically, while on a flight from London to Los Angeles, she suffered a heart attack and was rushed to the hospital, where she passed away 4 days later, leaving fans, friends, and family devastated. She was survived by her daughter, Billie Lourd, brother Todd, half-sisters Jolie and Tricia Fisher, and her beloved dog Gary. Doris Day, the beloved American actress and singer who captivated audiences with her radiant charm, impeccable comedic timing, and unforgettable singing voice, passed away on May 13, 2019, at the age of 97 in her home in Carmel Valley, California, due to pneumonia, leaving behind a legacy that defined Hollywood's golden era and inspired generations. She became one of the biggest box office stars of the 1950s and early 1960s, shining in musicals and romantic comedies that remain timeless, beginning with her film debut in Romance on the High Seas in 1948, which introduced audiences to her sparkling presence and signature voice. She mesmerized viewers as the spirited frontierswoman in Calamity Jane in 1953, performing the iconic song Secret Love, and displayed dramatic depth in Alfred Hitchcock's thriller The Man Who Knew Too Much in 1956, where her rendition of Q Sira, Sira Whatever Will Be, became an anthem of hope and resilience. Doris's collaboration with Rock Hudson brought unforgettable chemistry to films like Pillow Talk in 1959, which earned her an Academy Award nomination. Lover Come Back in 1961 and Send Me No Flowers in 1964, while her pairing with Cary Grant in That Touch of Mink in 1962 and James Garner in The Thrill of It All in 1963 cemented her status as Hollywood's queen of sophisticated comedy. Born Doris Mary Kappelhoff on April 3, 1922, in Cincinnati, Ohio, to German-American parents, she initially pursued dance, but suffered a serious car accident as a teenager that ended her dancing ambitions, steering her toward a singing career instead. Joining big bands in the 1940s, she rose to prominence with hits like Sentimental Journey and My Dreams Are Getting Better All the Time, and later recorded more than 650 songs during her career, blending impeccable technique with heartfelt emotion. Her television work, including The Doris Day Show from 1968 to 1973, showcased her warmth and versatility beyond film, while her later life was devoted to animal welfare, founding the Doris Day Animal Foundation and tirelessly advocating for the protection of pets. Janet Leigh, the beloved American film actress who graced Hollywood with her beauty, talent, and unforgettable screen presence, passed away on October 3, 2004, at the age of 77, after a prolonged battle with vasculitis, a painful inflammation of the blood vessels that she quietly endured away from the public eye, leaving behind a remarkable legacy that continues to captivate generations of movie lovers. Born Jeanette Helen Morrison in Merced, California, she was raised in Stockton in a modest, working-class family, experiencing frequent moves and the hardships of the Great Depression. Yet her innate charm, intelligence, and beauty set her apart from an early age. Discovered at 18 by former MGM star Norma Shearer, who noticed her photograph at a ski lodge where her parents worked, Leigh was offered a screen test and soon signed with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, beginning a prolific career that spanned 5 decades. She appeared in early MGM films, such as The Romance of Rosie Ridge in 1947, Act of Violence in 1948, and Little Women in 1949, demonstrating her versatility across dramas, comedies, musicals, and westerns, including Angels in the Outfield in 1951, Scaramouche in 1952, and The Naked Spur in 1953. After leaving MGM, she starred in Safari in 1956 and the film noir masterpiece Touch of Evil in 1958, directed by Orson Welles, where she played Susan Vargas, delivering a performance of vulnerability and strength even while recovering from a broken arm. Janet achieved her most iconic role as Marion Crane in Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho in 1960, where her character's shocking murder in the infamous shower scene became a landmark in cinematic history, earning her both a Golden Globe Award and an Academy Award nomination, and forever cementing her status as one of Hollywood's first scream queens. She continued to shine in The Manchurian Candidate in 1962, Bye Bye Birdie in 1963, and Harper in 1966, later sharing the screen with her daughter Jamie Lee Curtis in The Fog in 1980 and Halloween H20. 20 years later, in 1998, bridging generations of horror icons. Beyond film, she was a devoted mother, a stage performer making her Broadway debut in Murder Among Friends in 1975, and a published author of 4 books, reflecting her depth and creative spirit. Angela Lansbury, the beloved British-American film actress and producer who mesmerized audiences with her grace, versatility, and enduring talent, passed away peacefully on October 11, 2022, at the age of 96, surrounded by family, leaving a legacy that spanned over 8 decades in film, theater, and television. Born in Regent's Park, London, to Irish actress Moyna McGill and English politician Edgar Lansbury, Angela faced early tragedy with the loss of her father and grandfather, which drew her closer to performance as a refuge. To escape the Blitz, she moved to the United States in 1940, studying acting in New York before arriving in Hollywood, where she signed with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer and earned her first roles in Gaslight in 1944, National Velvet in 1944, and The Picture of Dorian Gray in 1945. Performances that earned her early Oscar nominations and revealed a rare depth for a young actress. She appeared in films such as The Private Affairs of Belle Amy in 1947 and Samson and Delilah in 1949, but it was her chilling portrayal of Eleanor Iselin, the manipulative mother in The Manchurian Candidate in 1962, that became one of her most iconic performances, blending elegance with sinister intensity. Lansbury's stage career soared with leading roles in Mame in 1966, which earned her first Tony Award, Gypsy in 1973, and Sweeney Todd in 1979. Each performance celebrated for its emotional power and theatrical brilliance. She also enchanted family audiences in Bedknobs and Broomsticks in 1971, brought warmth and magic as the voice of Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast in 1991, and captivated a new generation with her role as the Balloon Lady in Mary Poppins Returns in 2018. Television immortalized her as Jessica Fletcher in Murder, She Wrote from 1984 to 1996, a role that showcased her intelligence, poise, and charm, making her a symbol of strength and wisdom for viewers worldwide. Married to producer Peter Shaw from 1949 until his death in 2003, Lansbury maintained a devoted family life while earning 6 Tony Awards, 6 Golden Globes, an honorary Academy Award, and being named a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 2014. Jean Simmons, the beloved British film actress and singer who graced both British and Hollywood cinema with her elegance and extraordinary talent, passed away on January 22, 2010, at the age of 80, after a courageous battle with lung cancer at her home in Santa Monica, California, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable performances that continue to inspire generations. Born Jean Marilyn Simmons in Islington, London, she was the youngest of 4 children and discovered her love for performance early, studying dance and singing from a young age. Her film career began at just 14 with Give Us the Moon, and she soon caught the attention of filmmakers with small roles in Mr. Emanuel and Caesar and Cleopatra, before achieving stardom as the sophisticated and icy Estella in David Lean's Great Expectations, a role that established her as one of Britain's brightest young stars. She continued to captivate audiences in Black Narcissus as a sensual temple dancer, and in Laurence Olivier's Hamlet as Ophelia, earning her first Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Moving to Hollywood, Simmons shone in films such as The Blue Lagoon, the romantic comedy Adam and Eveline, Otto Preminger's Angel Face in 1953, and the epic The Robe in the same year, showcasing her range from delicate vulnerability to fiery intensity. Her performance in the musical Guys and Dolls brought her a Golden Globe, while roles in Young Bess, The Big Country, Elmer Gantry, and Spartacus cemented her as a versatile star capable of both romance and drama. Later, she found acclaim on television with The Thorn Birds, winning an Emmy Award, and continued to impress in North and South, the adaptation of Great Expectations as Miss Havisham, and films like How to Make an American Quilt and Shadows in the Sun, displaying a grace and poise that endured into her later years. Off-screen, she married actor Stuart Granger, with whom she had daughter Tracy, and director Richard Brooks, with whom she had daughter Kate. Both marriages ended in divorce, but she remained devoted to her family. Jean Simmons' passing marked the loss of a luminous film icon whose roles in classics like Hamlet, Great Expectations, The Blue Lagoon, Guys and Dolls, Spartacus, and The Happy Ending left an indelible mark on cinema, ensuring that her beauty, talent, and captivating presence will be remembered forever. Gloria Grahame, the beloved American film actress who captured hearts with her sultry charm and unforgettable screen presence, passed away on October 5, 1981, at the age of 57, after a courageous battle with stomach cancer and peritonitis. Born Gloria Penelope Hallward in Los Angeles, California, she was the younger daughter of an English architect and a Scottish stage actress, Jean Grahame, who trained her in acting from a young age, instilling in her both discipline and a love for performance. Gloria began her career on stage, performing in Chicago's Good Night, Ladies, and making her Broadway debut in The World's Full of Girls in 1943, where her talent caught the eye of MGM studio chief Louis B. Mayer, leading to her first film, Blonde Fever, in 1944. She first gained public attention in It's a Wonderful Life in 1946 as the flirtatious Violet Bick, before MGM sold her contract to RKO, where she became a defining face of film noir. Graham received an Academy Award nomination for Crossfire in 1947 and went on to win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in The Bad and the Beautiful in 1952, a performance that cemented her status as a Hollywood star. Her other memorable roles include the scheming Irene Neves in Sudden Fear, the scarred and determined Debbie Marsh in Fritz Lang's The Big Heat, the mysterious Vicky Buckley in Human Desire, and her surprising turn in the musical Oklahoma, as well as her daring stunts in Cecil B.D. Mills' The Greatest Show on Earth. Despite her talent, Gloria faced personal struggles, including public scandals, tumultuous marriages, and battles with her appearance after cosmetic procedures. Yet she continued to shine on stage and television, appearing in shows like The Outer Limits and The Fugitive. In 1974, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, which briefly went into remission, only to return in 1980. Determined to continue working, she traveled to the United Kingdom for theater, but her health deteriorated rapidly. At her family's insistence, she returned to New York, where she was admitted to St. Vincent's Hospital and passed away within hours, leaving behind 4 children and a legacy of unforgettable performances that continue to define her as one of Hollywood's most compelling and tragically brilliant actresses. Margaret Rutherford, the beloved English film and stage actress who brought joy, wit, and unforgettable characters to life, passed away on May 22, 1972, at the age of 80, after a long battle with Alzheimer's disease that gradually took away her memory and the ability to perform, leaving those who loved her heartbroken. Born in Balham, South London, her childhood was marked by tragedy, losing her mother at just 3 and being raised by her devoted Aunt Betsy, who encouraged her love for theater and shaped her future. Margaret trained at the Old Vic School and made her stage debut at 33, quickly gaining fame for her eccentric and comedic brilliance. She became immortal as Miss Prism in The Importance of Being Earnest and the delightfully unpredictable Madame Arcady in Noel Coward's Blithe Spirit, a role she carried to the big screen, bicycling through the Kent countryside with her cape fluttering, leaving audiences enchanted. On film, she charmed viewers as Nurse Carrie in Miranda from 1948, the spirited Professor Hatton Jones in Passport to Pimlico from 1949, and the headmistress in The Happiest Days of Your Life from 1950, while her portrayal of Miss Jane Marple in Agatha Christie adaptations captured the detective's cleverness, warmth, and eccentricity. Her comedic brilliance shone again as the absent-minded Duchess of Brighton in The VIPs, earning her an Academy Award and Golden Globe, making her the oldest woman at that time to receive such an honor. Despite her struggles with depression and later illness, she was cared for devotedly by her husband, Stringer Davis, and continued to delight audiences in films like Chimes at Midnight and A Countess from Hong Kong. Joan Plowright, the beloved English film and stage actress whose career spanned over 7 decades, passed away on January 16, 2025, at the age of 95, at Denville Hall in Northwood, London, surrounded by her family, after a long life devoted to the stage and screen, and a later struggle with macular degeneration that ended her acting career. Born in Brigg, Lincolnshire, Joan discovered her love for acting in her mother's amateur drama group and honed her craft at the Old Vic Theatre School, making her professional stage debut in Croydon in 1948 and her London debut in 1954. She rose to prominence in 1956 from the Royal Court Theatre with the English Stage Company, delivering unforgettable performances in The Country Wife, Shaw's Major Barbara, Ionesco's The Chairs, and later as Beatty Bryant in Roots and Jean Rice in John Osborne's The Entertainer, both on stage and in the 1960 film adaptation alongside her future husband Laurence Olivier. She earned a Tony Award for her Broadway performance in A Taste of Honey in 1961, and later the Laurence Olivier Award for Philomena in 1978. Her film work was equally remarkable, with roles in Moby Dick in 1956, Equus in 1977, Enchanted April in 1991, which won her a Golden Globe and an Academy Award nomination, Dennis the Menace in 1993, 101 Dalmatians in 1996, Jane Eyre in 1996, Tea with Mussolini in 1999, and later Mrs. Palfrey at the Claremont in 2005, displaying her extraordinary range from dramatic intensity to tender humor. In 1993, she achieved the rare distinction of winning 2 Golden Globes in the same year for Supporting Actress in Television for Stalin and Supporting Actress in Film for Enchanted April, celebrating her brilliance across mediums. While some later works, like The Scarlet Letter or Goose on the Loose, were less acclaimed, she remained a guiding force in British theatre, nurturing Olivier's legacy and inspiring generations of actors. Claudia Cardinali, the beloved Italian actress whose grace, beauty, and extraordinary talent lit up screens around the world, passed away peacefully at her home in Nemours, France, on September 23, 2025, at the age of 87, after a brief but intense battle with age-related complications. Born Claude Josephine Rose Cardinali in La Goulette, Tunisia, to Sicilian parents, she grew up speaking French, Arabic, and Sicilian, only mastering Italian as an adult. Discovered after winning the Most Beautiful Italian Girl in Tunisia contest at just 16, she overcame tremendous personal struggles, including a traumatic assault at 19, which shaped her resilience and depth, while quietly raising her son Patrick as she began her remarkable career in film. Cardinali's cinematic legacy is immense. She captivated audiences in Rocco and His Brothers in from 1960, where her poignant portrayal revealed both tenderness and fierce determination. Shown with regal elegance in The Leopard Inn from 1963, alongside Burt Lancaster. Mesmerized in Fellini's Aiden from 1963, where her presence brought magic to every scene, and commanded the screen in Once Upon a Time in the West End from 1968, proving herself as powerful as Henry Fonda and Charles Bronson. Her Hollywood ventures, including The Pink Panther in from 1963, The Professionals in from 1966, and Fitzcarraldo in from 1982, further showcased her versatility and international appeal. Shelley Duvall, the beloved American actress and film producer who captivated audiences with her ethereal presence, passed away on July 11, 2024, at the age of 75 due to complications from diabetes at her home in Blanco, Texas. Her passing left a deep void in cinema as fans remembered the courage, dedication, and unique spirit that defined her life. Born Shelley Alexis Duvall in Fort Worth, Texas, she grew up in Houston with a vibrant, artistic spirit, discovered unexpectedly by director Robert Altman while hosting a party in 1970. Duvall entered Hollywood as an untrained talent and quickly became Altman's muse, appearing in Brewster M.C. Cloud in 1970, M.C. Cabe and Mrs. Miller in 1971, Thieves Like Us in 1974, and Nashville in 1975, earning acclaim for her portrayals of eccentric, deeply human characters. In 1977, she gave an unforgettable performance as Mildred Millie Lamoureux in Three Women, winning Best Actress at Cannes. Her haunting portrayal of Wendy Torrance in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining in 1980 remains one of the most gripping performances in horror, filmed under grueling conditions that tested her physically and emotionally. That same year, she charmed audiences as Olive Oyl in Altman's Popeye, bringing humor and vulnerability to the beloved character. Shelley Duvall also created and produced children's programs such as Fairy Tale Theater and Shelley Duvall's Bedtime Stories, showcasing her imaginative spirit. Off-screen, she faced personal struggles with quiet resilience, cherishing her private life and love for animals. Maggie Smith, the beloved British actress whose wit, elegance, and extraordinary talent made her one of the most iconic performers of her generation. Passed away peacefully on September 27, 2024, at the age of 89 at Chelsea and Westminster Hospital in London, surrounded by family and close friends, leaving the world mourning the loss of a true cinematic and theatrical treasure. Born Margaret Natalie Smith on December 28, 1934, in Ilford, Essex, she moved to Oxford as a child, where her father worked at Oxford University. And it was there that she discovered her love for acting, performing at the Oxford Playhouse and quickly rising to prominence on stage with roles in Shakespeare, Ibsen, and classic comedies, before making her film debut in Child in the House and Nowhere to Go, and capturing international attention with her breakthrough performance as the unconventional, inspiring schoolteacher in the prime of Miss Jean Brodie, which earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress, followed by her unforgettable, Oscar-winning turn in California Suite and critically acclaimed roles in A Room with a View, The Lonely Passion of Judith Hearn, Tea with Mussolini, and Robert Altman's Gosford Park, where her commanding presence and sharp wit shone. She later became a beloved global figure as the strict but fiercely loyal Professor Minerva McGonagall in the Harry Potter series, a role that introduced her brilliance to a new generation, and as the indomitable Violet Crawley, Dowager Countess of Grantham, in Downton Abbey, for which she earned 3 Emmy Awards and captured hearts worldwide, proving her unmatched range across comedy, drama, and fantasy. Beyond her roles, she faced personal challenges, including a battle with breast cancer, yet remained a private, resilient, and devoted mother to her sons, Toby Stevens and Chris Larkin, and a loving grandmother to 5, embodying grace both on and off the screen. Her passing inspired an outpouring of grief and admiration from fans, co-stars, and the global film community, including Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Helen Mirren, and J.K.